Okay, you guys, so you guys are reading the title correctly. Men don't like it when you dish out what they have been dishing to you. Men don't like it when women ghost them, but it's totally okay for men to get out here and ghost women. Men do not like it when you get out here and you cheat on them or you sleep around. Um, they don't like that, but it's totally okay for them to get out here and sleep with their coworker, sleep with the friendly neighbor down the street, etc. You know what I mean? Men clearly don't like that. And I'm here to remind you women that don't let men control you. You control yourself, okay? You control your happiness. And the only way that you're going to deal with these men out here is through boundaries. Okay? Men don't like independent women who say I don't need you men. Okay? I remind these men that you're in my life because I choose to put you in my life. Okay? Or because of some legal requirements that requires you to be in my life if there are kids involved. Outside of that, I don't owe these men shit. And they hate the fact that you don't owe them shit. But if men would simply be nicer to women and treat women like human beings, all of these things wouldn't even have to go on. But that's the thing, men don't want to do what's right. They want to continuously keep disrespecting the divine feminine, overstepping boundaries. And they think that they can control things just like they think that they can control children. This is why it's imperative that you don't have children for men, because that is another way that men can control women through the children. Okay. And some of these men are so selfish and so evil and lack so much empathy and sympathy. They will neglect their own children and hurt their own children to get back at the mother of the child. Because I keep telling you guys, a lot of these men do not like their children. They hate their children. They hate you because you had their children, and you can no longer be controlled by them in the relationship. And these men can no longer control you if you moved on. If you moved on. This is why it's important that you guys set boundaries with these men. You have to set boundaries with men. You cannot allow men to control you, because this is what this is all about. This is about men controlling women pertaining to the patriarchal system. Men abusing their power of submission and domination. This is what all of this is about. And with women opting out of having sex, getting married, or having children with men, men no longer have anything that they can control. And this is why I love the world that I'm in, because I get to set the bar with these men. I get to tell you men how you're going to treat me. I get to tell you men what access you're going to have with me. Of course, you have your rules, but guess what? It's all a fair, equal exchange. It's all based on fairness. I get to determine how my bodily anatomy is going to be handled by you. You don't get to determine that. You don't get to determine what my body is going to be used for. I set that bar. I control that ship. I control that ship. What you men have done is you have pissed off the divine feminine. That's what has happened here. And now you have to figure out a way to get women to deal with you again, man. You have to figure out a way to get men to like you again. You have to figure out a way to get women to have sex with you again. Because guess what, man? You're not entitled to sex from women because you see a beautiful woman standing there. Or you take a woman out to dinner. You're not entitled to sex. Hold on a second, you guys. You have to figure out a way to get women to like you again. You have to figure out a way to get women to deal with you again. You have to figure out a way for women to have sex with you. Like I said, you men have to figure that out now. And in order for you to figure that out, you have to become a likable person in order for you to have access to women again. And you doing the bare minimum with women is just simply not enough. And I'm not talking about financially, I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Because guess what? Some of you men do not perform well in bed. You don't. You don't perform well in bed. And this is why I tell women that you women should charge men, and you should charge them for even having access to you like that. And no, it's not a form of prostitution. Okay. It is a liability. It's a liability and risk down payment. Why? Because most of you men are full of STDs, you're full of STIs, you don't take care of your health, you're out here sleeping around recklessly. And women, you have to protect yourselves. And in order for you to protect yourselves, you have to involve protection when you're having intercourse with these men. This is why I make these men sign a contract before dealing with me. This is why I'm in the dom world, okay? And in the dom world, contracts are issued. Now, I'm not encouraging you ladies to get out here and become a BDSM queen like me. I'm just letting it be known that before you have any sexual activity with these men, that you would require that they provide you with some kind of STD testing, STI report, even a physical report. Also require that these men wear protection during intercourse, or whatever your rules are pertaining to being intimate with you. Me, these men are just not going to have access to me. That's not how that works. And If I'm going to appease any man that I am dealing with, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I'm requiring aftercare, self-care during these particular sessions. And this is what I require from all of my DOMs. All of my DOMs make sure that I am mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually satisfied. They also make sure that I am taken care of in aftercare events that they pay for, whether it's cuddling, journaling, writing, talk therapy. This is what the DOM does for me. This is what I require from all of my DOMs. And when I say all of my DOMs, and because in the BDSM world, subs deal with DOMs. That's just how it is. That's just how it is, you guys. I don't walk around in the corsets, heels, and stockings and leggings in public. But every now and then I do wear my choker, if that is what the DOM requires. Okay. You guys, I'm pretty out there. My ex has no idea that I'm in this world. He has no idea that I have a DOM. He has no idea that I'm a sub. He has no idea that I'm in the BDSM world. And I have yet to tell him this. Because this is my personal private life that I don't feel like my ex needs to be a part of. But at the end of the day, this is my world. I set the rules. And of course, the DOM has his rules. And there's an equal, fair exchange of power. Because like I told you guys, all of this that's going on right now with men and women in this gender war, it's all because of power play. I keep telling you guys that. And in the BDSM world, we know about the hierarchy of the patriarchy and how that system works. The only difference is we don't incorporate that structure into the BDSM world because we create our own world and our own reality. We create that. But these men, they definitely don't like when you have boundaries. They don't like when you set the rules. They don't like when they can't have access to you. Well, if you men would treat women nicer, you could have access to women. You could. And this is why I tell women to stop being nice to men. Because many of them are not deserving of that type of access or leverage from women. And some woman out here has flattered herself and has caved into what men want. And in return, it led her with nothing. So you ladies are pouring into men who are not even pouring into you, honey. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And in return, you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing. But that's what the patriarchal system does. It leaves you with nothing. It gives you nothing. You get nothing. So when I keep hearing that women say, oh, men protect women, that's not how the patriarchal system works, honey. Granted, there may be a few men who do offer that type of provision, but it's not the majority of men. What am I saying? I'm saying that you women need to learn and understand your power. Because right now, these men are feeling very, very powerless when it comes to dealing with women right now. especially all of these men out here who have been abusing their power, disrespecting and walking over the divine feminine. What you ladies are understanding right now is you're understanding your worth, your value, and your power. And these men just don't like it. They don't like the changes that comes with what's happening right now in these shifts. Well, men, you had the opportunity to evolve. You had the opportunity to treat women nice. You chose to be stupid about it. You chose not to resist to the change. So now you get to deal with the changes that women are making. And I really don't care that you men don't like it. Because after all, you had 6,000 years to treat women better, to be better human beings. But you didn't do that. You chose to be very cocky about it, very arrogant about it, in a very condescending way. And you've been abusing your power against women. You've been abusing your power. You've been misusing your power. Okay. And women are now taking their power back and redirecting that back onto themselves. I'm letting women know that they can set the terms and conditions now with you men. They can set the rules now with you men. You don't get to set the rules now. Women don't need you men. You have to understand that. If we're going to deal with you, it's because we choose to and we want to, and because you add benefit in our lives, not because it's a must. And it's not a must for women and men to deal with each other. It's not a must. What you ladies do need to do is you need to deprogram when it comes to religion, because I don't follow religion. I don't follow religion dogma where men and women are supposed to be superior to each other. There's supposed to be an equal exchange of power return here. Okay. I give in to the Dom and his needs, he gives into mine. That's how it is for me. That's it. And if that Dom crosses any boundaries, he will not have access to me. He will violate the contract agreement that I have in place. I set the rules. I set the bar. That's how it's supposed to be. That's it. Right now, my ex does not like the fact that I have boundaries in place with our daughter. Well, I'm going to do what's in the best interest for my daughter, not for him or his wife. And see, men, they only understand legal aspects, you guys. So all of you women who are fighting tooth and nails to get your baby daddy or your ex-husband to pay child support, honey, just take him to court. Take his ass to court. Get you an attorney. Take his ass clean to court. Because it's the only way that men will listen is when the law is involved. You want to know what my ex told me? Well, I guess you're just going to get your attorney involved. I'm not saying anything to you until I get my attorney. You get your attorney. Sure. Yeah, my attorney will be contacting my ex. But right now, I have to play my cards right. So I understand the legal system, you guys. I understand how the court works. And the only time that men will actually listen to women is when you take their asses to court. That's it. Oh, and then he has to know, well, you've been saying you're going to get your lawyer to contact me for 2 weeks. Oh, that's the irony of the surprise of the suspense. My lawyer's on standby. She just wants to see how far my ex is willing to go and if he continues to be bad, are an asshole. Him and his wife. So I have to get documentation here of incidents and things like that to provide to her for court. In the event we have to take him to court. Why? Because men don't like change. They don't like what you ladies did. They don't like the fact that they cannot have access to you for sex. They don't like the fact that you get to set the bar. You get to tell these men, I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to date you. You ghost me, I'm going to ghost you back. You want to play hot and cold behavior? Well, guess what? I can play hot and cold behavior too with you, or altogether walk away from you. They don't like the fact that you don't want to be their submissive slaves anymore. They don't like the fact that you don't want to be their bang maids, their chefs, their secretaries, nannies, or any of that. Oh, yes, the men are having a little man tantrum, but you men did this. You did this. You did this. But Akina, you're punishing all men for the actions of one man. No. There's way too many women out here complaining about a man right now. So this isn't even about punishment. This is just how you men are wired. You're wired to just treat the divine feminine like shit. This is why all of this is happening. Because this is just how you men are wired. After all, you men taught me everything that I needed to know about you. How do you think I know and learn what I know and learn now? Because of you men. Because of you men. Because of you. You taught women everything that they needed to know, men. You guys have just played yourself, and every time you get on your mics and podcasts talking shit about women, you just make this so easy for women like me to just keep setting the bar higher and higher. Because I know what comes out of you men's mouth is just uttermost stupid and just low IQ. And this is why I absolutely fucking love emotionally intelligent men who sit back and they critical think for themselves. They sit back and they observe and they watch. And they're not going to do anything to mess up anything with the divine feminine. Especially when they know that their entire existence relies on them. And because the fact that you men love sex. You need it. It's your drug. It's your dopamine. You need it. So why would you risk or mess that up? And that's what confuses me about all these men out here who get out here and you just risk yourselves like that. You just gamble and you just fumble women like that. You're not going to be able to do that no more. No, because things are changing for women. Now there's going to be some pick me out here, and there's going to be some male-centered woman out here who does not have a problem being your little play toy. But for real women that you men keep saying that 4B women are not, yeah, I'm a real woman. I'm a real woman. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to deal with your bullshit. And I'm definitely not going to deal with none of you weak men, because I don't deal with weak men. Not in my world. I deal with men who respect women, who understand women, who love sex from women, who appreciate women, and who values women. And if you men can't do that, well, then you don't get to have access to women. You can enjoy holding yourself in your hand and holding a sandwich in your other hand. You get to enjoy that. Because guess what? Women who deal with emotionally intelligent men, they'll get taken care of. They're going to get taken care of. And what I've learned from this whole entire election, men who voted for Kamala Harris, You're emotionally intelligent. You absolutely love women. You respect women. And you probably were raised by a single mother or grew up around a lot of women, and you watch and you had to protect your siblings, your grandmother, your mother, or something. Because my son protects me. He protects me. You men who voted for Kamala Harris, you're you're the smartest men. You're the smartest men compared to these MAGA conservative types of men. But this is all a power play, you guys. What's happening right now. And men are just losing their little punching bags. They're losing their control and access to women that they have been abusing for so long. And you don't deserve anything, men. You didn't give anything, you don't deserve anything. That's just how the cookie crumbles. So my ex is just having a little temper tantrum, and I'm gonna remind him that during custody exchanges, I don't deal with third party interferences. You men need to learn how to control your wives. Okay. And all of you women who marry to men who have children, you need to understand that there are consequences that comes with co-parenting. Okay. That your husband, your boyfriend will continuously have a relationship with the child's mother. And I'm not talking about sexually, I'm talking about in general. In general. That's just the reality. And this is why I encourage women out here who don't have children, stop dating and dealing with men who do. Because it can be messy, it can be drama filled. And me, with children, I prefer not to deal with the man who does have children. Because I know how drama filled that can be, especially with women who uphold the patriarchal system and you're digmatized to men. I'm not digmatized with men. So I figure, any woman who gets with my exes, honey, you're just getting the leftovers of what I've had. That's all. That's all. Especially if he's been married to me first and then he ends up with you, honey, you're just getting the leftovers. He's my ex and he's my ex for a reason. Well, this is all that men do, you guys. They just bring unnecessary drama into women's lives, even in child custody exchanges, etc. They just don't know how to. You men just don't know how to be normal. You're just full of drama. Most of you men, and this is what you guys do. You get online, you create unnecessary drama. You create unnecessary drama. You create unnecessary drama. And oh, you guys, my ex-husband hates the fact that boundaries are now in place. It's crazy how drama filled you men are. It's crazy. But I'm encouraging you ladies out here. I'm encouraging you ladies out here, especially you child-free women who still want to get out here and date men. Please do not date men who have children. Because if that mother of the child does not, I have boundaries with my ex and his wife. And like I said, toxic people do not like boundaries. And right now, my ex-husband and we have power play little moments from time to time. Why? Because I get to set the tone here. And I told him, I'm not going to be coddling your wife and her little insecurity issues that she has, because that sounds like a her problem, not a me problem. And I told him, honey, look, if I wanted to fuck you, I could have done that moons ago. I'm not interested in fucking you. Your objective is to pick up our daughter and drop her off. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to fucking do. But you men, you guys create the unnecessary drama in women's lives. And then you pin women up against each other, fighting over phallus, patriarchal phallus. That's what I'm going to start calling you men's dick. Phallus, patriarchal phallus. You have women out here fighting over that. You have women fighting over phallus. And low tier average men. I don't fight over men. I don't fight over men. So that's what needs to be done, you guys. You guys have to set boundaries with these men, because if you don't, then like I said, these men are going to continuously keep walking all over you guys, and that's what's going on. You women have given men too much sex. You've cooked for them too much. You washed their ass. You gave them children when they didn't deserve it. They were not even there at the hospital when you had the baby. They didn't want to sign the birth certificate. They didn't even want to give you $20 for a case of Pampers. That's what's going on. You women, especially you black women, you've just given men too much access, especially black men. You let these Negroes ride around in your car. You fed them, you slept with them, you cooked for them, you paid their bills, you allowed them to stay in your house and didn't pay your bills. And they just over exerted that power too much. They have completely walked over you. And this is why they were so great to get online and talk shit about you black women. But see, they didn't just paint one black woman. No. These Negroes went and they got the biggest paintbrush and they painted all black women to be the same. So when I'm on here talking about black men, I separate them. I separate the real black men from the little boy black men. But see, what has happened here, you black women have just given black men too much access. And that's what you women have done. So there it is. That's it. And I let my ex-husband know, yeah, I can be a bitch. I can be the biggest bitch you've ever seen if you overstep my boundaries or you cross lanes where you don't need to. And all you guys, all he has to do is pick up his daughter and drop her off. But like I said, these men create unnecessary drama. They create unnecessary drama. They create this drama in the patriarchal system because it fuels and feeds their egos. And you women who sit here and you're like little robots to these men and you're fighting over nutter juice and phallus, patriarchal phallus, it is because you've been conditioned to heaviest under the system. Men absolutely love cat fights. They love two women fighting over them. I don't fight over phallus. I don't fight over phallus. I'm not dickmatized like a lot of you women are who just need dick. You need phallus 24/7. I don't need that. I set the terms and conditions with how I want these men to deal with me. So that's all I have to say, you guys.